everybody, so welcome back to part 2 of the Corset block, and we have already prepared our front and our back of the overgarment as you've seen in the first video, so go check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. So now that we have our darts prepared, now we're gonna just freestyle a corset block, or at least a corset design on this block. We're gonna grab a different color for this maybe, so it's a little bit different, easier for you guys to see. And I'm going to be rocking with some colors over here. Maybe not this one, not the red. Let's try a violet. So blue and violet. So we're going to grab our blue first, and we're going to shape on the front. And most likely your cup is going to be about till there. Yeah, me making a dot there is quite weird, and you might think, hey, how do you even just make a dot, man? So let me tell you guys how to go about it, right? How to go about it is actually to take this point here and take that point there and split it in half, and the measurement over there divided by 2 is somewhere about there, right? And then from there you can, this is not for those guys that really want to go about it technically. You grab your ruler again. Once you get the middle line, you can just draw like a straight line across, just like that. You can go all the way across if you want to, it doesn't really matter. Once you have that line, now you can shape your cups, because you need to sort of be in line, so within those lines, between that line and your armhole line. So we're just going to shape an easy cup real quick. So from that line we're going to shape downwards here under the arm. And here, because that's the armhole line, I would like you guys to drop about 2 centimeters below that armhole line. So measure 2 centimeters below and then make a little dot so that you can gradually shape towards that point. And here the line splits, but the dot, we're going to stop the line there, and then we can continue over here. And then we're just going to keep the front straight for now, because our front is going to be cut on fold, and we don't really want any other crazy designs on the front. Of course, you guys can go ahead and explore some of those options, but for the standard, for this exercise, we're going to keep it straight, right? Because our front over here is going to be on fold, so we're going to keep the line straight. So there we go. And now we go towards the back. For the back one, we're going to grab the violet color. And the back is really nothing too fancy. We're just going to keep these lines straight. And we're going to intersect that point over there. And then we're just going to go straight towards the center back. And that's really that simple, guys, because what we really need to understand is the back and the front meets on the side seam, right? So that is why when we traced these blocks in the first video, we actually made sure that the side seams are together so that we can do the shapes and twists and tricks and nicks on the side seam. So whatever we do on the front, we try and connect it to the back. That's why we always trace it on the side seams together. And there we go, guys. That's as easy as it is, man. And here what we can do is we can of course now just outline the pieces that we actually going to cut. And here the side seam folds away, so this is what we're going to cut from the back. And over here as well, so the dots gets traced out. So everything that I'm tracing right now is the piece that I'm going to be cutting away. So here we go. That's the back done. So the front dots, here we go. And then here on the top, and then here on the waistline of the front all the way to the bottom there, the hemline. Then of course on the other side here, part of the dot on top, part of the dot on the side seam, on the waistline all the way to the hemline. across from the hemline, and then down the center front. And there we go, everybody. So these blocks gets numbers. So we know that this is your front. We're gonna write center front here. Center front. And then we're gonna say side front. And then we're gonna say on the back, center back and side back, of course. We're gonna say center back and side back. And then what we can do, we can just mark these points, because when we split it, we know that these are where the waistline of the back meets. And then grab our blue. These are the waistline where the front panels meet. And of course, then let's use a blue. Then we're gonna make 2 lines over here and 2 lines over here. That is where the side seam of the side back and the side front meets. So once we have our blocks highlighted, everybody, we can now grab our scissor and start cutting, because that's essentially what why we did those colors. So you want to first split the side seam right up. And then over here, you want to cut the dot out. Want to cut across here on the top of the corset. Want to split the dot. There we go. That's the side back of the dot of the back. We're gonna put it there. We're gonna split the back here of the corset. There we go. There's the center back and the side back. Center back and side back. Then we cut up to the center front. And then we're gonna cut across on the curved line down to the side seam. I'm tossing and turning this block, guys. I hope you guys can follow along. I'm cutting the dot. I'm cutting the hemline, and then now I'm gonna split the dot in the middle. And then here up top, I'm gonna split the dot again, like that. There we go. And now the last part is just cutting these other dots real quick. And there we go, everybody. That is it. And there we have our corset pattern constructed from the overgarment pattern, and that is all that we need now to build our corset. And from this point on, you can grab some more paper and trace these guys individually so that you can add your 1.5 centimeter seam allowance on these patterns. The only thing that's not going to get a 1.5 seam allowance is the center front. So this is your center front panel. You're not going to add seam allowance on the center front, because remember why? It's on fold. So whenever something is on fold, you don't add any seam allowance to that. So everywhere else up top, on the side, at the bottom, 1.5 seam allowance. on the side front everywhere, side back everywhere, and the center back everywhere. 1.5 seam allowance, except for the front. Some people add 2 centimeters on the center back because you might want to add a drawstring or zip or whatever type of fastenings. You can go ahead and explore with that, guys, but that is how we're gonna go about constructing a corset block. So there we go, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is Suno. I'll catch you guys in the next video with Suno. Peace.